A reading from the book of Numbers. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and his sons and tell them, this is how you shall bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you kindly and give you peace. So shall they invoke my name upon the Israelites, and I will bless them." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
May God bless us in his mercy. 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 May God have pity on us and bless us. May he let his face shine upon us. So may your way be known upon earth. Among all nations your salvation. May God bless us in his mercy. May God bless us in his mercy. May the nations be glad and exult, because you rule the peoples in equity. The nations on the earth you guide. May God bless us in his mercy. May God bless us in his mercy. May the peoples praise you, O God. May all the peoples praise you. May God bless us, and may all the ends of the earth fear him. May God bless us in his mercy. May God bless us in his mercy.
A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Galatians. Brothers and sisters, when the fullness of time had come, God sent his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, to ransom those under the law, so that they might receive adoption as sons. As proof that you are sons, God sent the Spirit of his Son into our hearts, crying out, "Abba, Father." So you are no longer a slave, but a son. And if a son, then also an heir through God. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
The Lord be with you. And with your spirit. A reading from Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to you, Lord. The shepherds went in haste to Bethlehem and found Mary and Joseph and the infant lying in the manger. When they saw this, they made known the message that had been told them about this child. All who heard it were amazed by what has been told them by the shepherds. And Mary kept all these things, reflecting on them in her heart. Then the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they have heard and seen, just as has been told to them. When 8 days were completed for his circumcision, he was named Jesus, the name given him by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Well, good morning. Happy New Year's. Good to see everybody up this early in the morning. It's also a good thing to see everybody in church this morning on the first day of 2019, to thank God for all the gifts in our lives, especially the gifts we've had this past year. That's a good thing. Now, the bad thing is you get to hear my homily. But think about this. This is the best homily you've heard so far this year. Got to give me... Okay, we're done. Now we'll go home. No. Today we're here to honor the woman, our mother, Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus. Can you imagine a world without her? Just think how different it would be. As I said, she's the mother of God, a woman who at a young age changed the world. Today is the great feast for Mary herself and for us, who owes her so much for a total cooperation with our God. After all, she enacted God's loving plan for us To say Mary's life was remarkable would be an understatement. It was one-of-a-kind life. And as Christians, we're still trying to emulate that today. We've come close, but think about what Mother Mary was. Her generous, loving, trusting kind of life led her to the openness that allowed her to say yes to God. Not simply once, but throughout her whole life. God kept inviting Mary to a certain way of living, a certain kind of life. And she was willing to give to him whatever he asked of her. And one day, one incredible day, he asked her through an angel to bear his son, our Messiah. The living God who is about to visit his people here on earth. We know Mary's answer and how the story was told throughout these ages. In a real sense, Mary gifted the entire world when she said yes, bringing incarnated God to us, to a world who desperately needed him then as we need him today. When she said yes, she brought our Lord, the loving one, to us, to always be with us, to always be by our side. Aren't we all supposed to be doing the same every day? Sometimes we think our life might have been different from Mary. After all, she lived a long time ago. However, her life's no different than ours. The difference is what we make of it. We have the opportunity to say yes to God every day, every moment of our lives. There are so many roles that Mary played in our lives. For example, she played a role model and gives us guidance and directions. For example, when we try to answer these questions, what does it mean to live a life of grace? Just look at Mary. What does it mean to be fully human? Just look at Mary. What does it mean to be fully in love with our God? Just look at Mary. Once again, we can see Mary sacrifice her life for our loving God. For a love that she had that surpassed everything she knew, everything she might have wanted personally for our loving God. She knew how to live in peace and harmony and confidence of our Lord. When things didn't go quite well, or she might have felt a sense of God not being there at the time, she kept those things in her heart, reflecting on them to always remain calm, to show others of who our God is. Her resolve allowed her to move forward in everything she did, knowing that God was going to be with her. She trusted God to be with her at all times. She knew that God's will be done, not hers. and thinking about our most important mission on the world. You as a mother or father or anyone involved with the raising a child know how difficult it is at times. Nurturing, feeding, protecting, raising, educating them, then finally one day letting go of these children. It is difficult, but yet we saw Mother Mary accomplish it faithfully because she protected her most valuable possession she knew and she had, her faith in God. She believed, and when she didn't understand, she even believed more. Mary intercedes for us. In this past period of time, if we think about it, we've gone through a time of reflection. We went through a time of redemption and a time of renewal. But we can be assured through Mary's intercessions that God is still going to be with us. We know that if we try a little bit harder to serve our vocations this year, through the intercessions of Mary, we know that God will be there for us. We know as we reach out to the world, God will be there through Mary's intercessions. We know when we try to forgive everybody that does this wrong, through Mary, our God will be there. And we know that when we shed light in all darkness, through Mary's intercessions, a loving God will be there. So today, as we celebrate the Solemnity of Mary, let us give her special thanks to everything she's done for us. As we know, she'll always be with us.